Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about Revenge of the Living Dead Girls from 1987. This was a movie that was completely off my radar. I'd never even heard about this one. But I did see it and was able to download it, though a lot of it didn't make sense, but some movies I see make no sense and it pisses me off. Some movies make no sense and I kind of go, meh, okay. This is one of those, meh, okay, I'll go with it kind of movies. The movie starts out in France. The guy's driving along. He's driving a big milk delivery truck, but I mean like milk, not like a bottle and not like a truck that would go to the store, but like a large tanker truck, like one you would see delivering gas to a gas station full of milk. This guy's being followed by a mysterious gentleman on a Suzuki motorcycle with a full-face helmet who looks very mysterious. When you see him, you hear the dun-dun-dun-dun, mysterious music. Now, this guy driving the tanker picks up a hooker who later on they pull over at I hate to call it a castle, but it's kind of like on the side of the road. And they're going to be, heels to Jesus in a minute. So while they're having their fun, this mysterious man on the motorcycle crawls up on top of the milk tanker, pulls out a bottle of which something looks like orange Powerade, and pours it into the milk supply and mysteriously takes off. So ladies start dropping dead all over town because they've had milk to drink. No other reason. Oh, and let me get to my notes. Things I like about Europe is a couple things here. I put here in my trusty notes little observations about mid-1980s European movies. It is still cool to smoke, hitchhike, and cop a feel in mid-80s France. Another thing I noticed that Europeans eat their breakfast almost naked in lingerie. And they drink tainted milk and then die in their skivvies. Yeah, it was kind of weird seeing someone in see-through underwear and bra eating breakfast. That was kind of cool, though. Another thing of this movie, anger leads to kissing. I'm angry. I hate you. But damn it, kiss me, you fool. Love those movies. Anyways, so let me see if I got the story right. So people are dropping dead because of the tainted milk, and people in the city want to blame the chemical plant. All three of these girls that died worked at the same chemical plant. The owner of the chemical plant is like, hey, I have nothing to do with this shit. But he, in a sense, does, because he's hired a man to dump the chemical waste just far away from the city, and this idiot is actually dumping it in the cemetery, right in the middle of town. I'm fairly sure you guys know where this is going to go. This chemical makes dead people come back to life, I guess if they're recently dead. Now, these three women that died are the ones that keep coming back, but they come back nightly because every night the guy shows up, dumps the chemical, the ladies turn into zombies and come back out, and apparently return themselves to their caskets and everything by morning, and then wait for him to dump more chemicals that evening for them to come back. So these three girls, who look as if they're wearing, their faces, all three of them are horribly rotten and disfigured. One of them has rotten and disfigured hands, but all three of them have hot smoking bodies. I don't quite understand. Apparently something in this milk killed their faces but preserved their body. I mean, they look fantastic because they are very much alive. Two of them, though, it was kind of funny, the continuity problem. They had enough money for 3 masks and one set of zombie hands. The other two girls' hands looked just like Palmolive. It was fantastic. But the zombies come back and they're trying to get revenge. Revenge on the people that got them poisoned, and just revenge on anything alive, apparently. And every night they manage to kill a few people that we've all seen in the story. All the people that are involved are dying. It's later revealed that the chemical was put there by people wanting to make the town sick, so they'd get mad at the chemical plant and just yell at them and get mad at them for the sickness. But it turns out it would have been justified because the guy was having his crap dumped all over and ended up in the cemetery. What else do I have here on my notes? Anger leads to kissing. Europeans eat breakfast naked. Oh, yeah, one thing. I guess they thought I wouldn't notice. They show the guy dumping the chemical. He's got a whole truck of chemicals he has to dump, giant drums. And as he starts, we're hearing in the background, Michael row the boat ashore, hallelujah, on the radio. And like 20 minutes later, when he's done dumping these, the same stupid song is still playing. I don't know the song that well, but I doubt it's a 20-minute song. And they did wait a full solid 23 minutes before they actually turned someone into a zombie. This movie, it wasn't campy because it was done to be scary. There was nudity involved, which was pretty good. One thing I will say is for a movie that was kind of, it was kind of run-of-the-mill 80s, maybe even a little bit less special effects and gore, there was a scene in here that was fucking brutal. Since you're probably not going to see this anyway, I'll just ruin it. One of the chemists comes home, and he got this shit on his hand. It's turning his hand into like a zombie hand. It's kind of acidic. It's weird. In the beginning, he gets it on his hand, and the next day his hand looks like it's falling off. It's so swollen and bloody. And then like the next day, it looks like his normal hand again, but slightly discolored. But his wife is pregnant in the movie. And near the end of the movie, she's in the shower, and he comes in there, and she's getting hysterical, so he just starts shaking the hell out of her, which, of course, is... I was like, whoa, you don't shake a pregnant... One, you don't shake a woman. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But you certainly wouldn't shake a pregnant woman. And she appears to be... Like, in real life, she was pregnant. This wasn't like some bodysuit, because they couldn't even afford zombie appliances. So she's in the shower, and... he touches her stomach and walks away. And I guess somehow this Midas touch of death burns a hole through her stomach. And she's standing there in the shower as her stomach is dissolving. And suddenly the fetus is exposed. And I don't know. It went from just kind of like a boring scene where I was like, you shouldn't treat a woman that way, to where she is actually giving a forced cesarean birth in the shower, screaming, and blood is everywhere. And folks, I was kind of freaked out by it. It caught me off guard, which I love in a horror movie, but it was so, I don't know, well acted. And okay, if you've seen the movie Extra, which is a great movie, which maybe I can make Pierce to look at that. Oh, I don't want to ruin it. There's a birth scene in that movie that is very disturbing. This was kind of along the same lines because you don't expect it, and she's just screaming and trying to hold on, and her baby is slipping out from her. It's just really, it was a well-conducted, well-acted, well-put-together scene that was probably the most brutal thing in the film and really believable. So, yeah, that was my last note. The shower scene was fucking brutal. So, the zombies kill all the people they want to kill because this guy keeps dumping the same shit every night. Apparently, he has an unlimited supply. And one of the ladies that works there was just trying to steal money from the safe. The ending really confused me. Now, I read somewhere there's different versions, different endings for this movie, but the one I saw, the lady steals like $1 million from the safe from the office of the chemical plant because the boss is dead and she was his secretary. So she takes the money, sneaks it out to her car, and she's driving down the road, and the 3 zombies shuffle out into the middle of the street and stop her and get in the car, almost like they were just hopping a ride. And the lady lets them in, no screaming, no hassle, and they all drive away. So, and they encounter the police, try to avoid them. Police throw a Molotov cocktail, and the car flips, and all this screaming, and everybody dies. So the zombies do die. But it made me wonder, were these really zombies? Because, they just got in the car, the lady okay, and almost fucking buckled up and just drove away without any sort of killing. So clearly the movie was a bit confusing, but I apparently was not supposed to understand the ending. Or maybe I saw one of the weird alternate endings. I don't know. Why there would be so many weird alternate endings for a fucking lame movie, I don't know. But there could have been. No other notes on this. I would say, yeah, check it out. Nothing wrong with this. It didn't make the most sense, but it didn't piss me off either. So I get pissed easy, as I'm sure you've already figured. So see you next week. And, drive safe. All the good stuff. Don't forget to tip your waitress. Okay, bye.